In today's video, we're going to review Nerdio Manager for WVD's capability of automatically restarting any failed tasks or cleaning up after itself if a task cannot be restarted. So let's take a look at an example. Let's open up our production demo tenant. And earlier today, I created a new host pool, and I specified that I wanted it to have 4 new hosts. But what I did is while it was running, I actually went ahead and I canceled the process of adding that new host. So if we look on our details for this particular task, you'll see that it kind of got through some of the tasks that it needed to get through. It created a network interface and it even created a VM. But because I canceled the task, it sort of left itself in a non-consistent, uncompleted state. So you can see my VMs are listed up here with orange highlighting, showing me that the VM could not be found as a WVD session host. So things are sort of left in an inconsistent state. So normally, if you were executing an action through PowerShell or through the Azure portal and something failed, you would need to figure out if you could recover from that failure and proceed, or if you need to manually go ahead and clean things up. In the Nerdio Manager, the system actually automates that process for you and provides you with 2 options. One is called restart and the other one is called cleanup. And as the name implies, if I would hit restart, that would actually resume the process from the point where it failed. So let's go ahead and click restart on this particular host. I'm gonna say restart and click OK. And what you'll see is that this host that ends with 0215, which is this one right here, is going to resume creating and being added into the WVD deployment. On the other hand, for this second one up here, the one that ends with BB4F, I'm going to click cleanup. And instead of continuing and restarting the task, this is going to go ahead and clean up any of the items that were created by the initial task that failed. So you can see there was a VM created and a network interface card that was created. So when I clicked cleanup, that's actually going to go ahead and undo everything that was created initially as part of that process. So actually, I'm going to click cleanup on the remaining 2 as well. And the system will go ahead and clean everything up for me based on this option that I clicked. Now, this is very convenient because if something fails in the process of building session hosts or adding images, whether it's because there is insufficient capacity in Azure or there's some transient error that the process ran into, the system will intelligently restart and try proceeding with the task again in just a few minutes, and is going to continue restarting. And then once it has repeatedly failed to complete the task, it will go ahead and clean up after itself, removing any of the objects that it may have created in its attempt to create the resources. So you can see now I have this task that's restarting. So it has now created my VM. It is now joining it to the domain. So it's proceeding as expected. And then these other VMs where I clicked cleanup are actually right now going through and removing all of the components that were created during the initial attempt. So this is just some of the automation and value that the Nerdio Manager for WVD provides while working with Azure and WVD to allow you to easily recover from any transient failures and either proceed with the process or roll it back and clean up after itself. Talk to you soon.